Hey guys, welcome back. Or if this is your first time in, welcome in. We are Daughters of Estrella. We are passionate about astrology and lifelong learners of astrology. We are doing something new. It's another series, which I'm really excited about, and it's, oh gosh, what is it called? The Ultimatum Queer Love, right? I like every time I Google it, I swear I put it in different ways all the time. But I know it's called the Ultimatum, and we are doing this for Pride Month, which I'm really excited about. And this is going to be, again, diving deep into compatibility. My name is Jerica.
And I am Victoria. And we're gonna start with our first couple.
Yes. Oh,
And about this. Oh.
Want to make sure that you guys have not watched the show. We talk about spoilers, so please watch the show, including the reunion as well, because we might bring that up as well. We might bring that up too.
Yeah. The reunion. There is a lot, like, because we just did Love Is Blind, and that reunion, you know, there wasn't. Oh wait.
What?
If you haven't done lots of spoilers. We've done Love Is Blind compatibility.
Season 4.
Yeah, for season 4, and the reunion for that versus the reunion for this, there's like so many couples that
it's definitely going to be different. I think our approach will be also different, so definitely be patient with us, and we will figure out a way that we both like it. But for now, we're kind of just gonna wing it. If you guys if you guys are down for that, so.
Yeah, also this time we have their rising signs.
Yes, I am very. I don't think all of them. I think when I was watching something, they mentioned that they didn't have Vanessa's time that they were born, so Vanessa will be the only one. But if you'd like to introduce our couple that we will be talking about for this podcast.
Yoly and Mal.
Yay! I would say my favorite couple.
I would say my favorite couple because of Mal.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
But, no, I really love, Yoly, I definitely relate to her, so we can start with, let's start with Yoly.
Yeah, first thoughts. Or do you want to talk about...
Let's say her
big five. Okay,
her big five.
Okay.
Well, now we have their rising, so 6.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So Yoly is a Leo and has a Gemini moon and an Aries rising. And then also has a Mercury in Leo, Venus in Leo, Mars in Leo.
Lots of fire.
That's a lot of Leo.
If you guys didn't... I'm sure you guys could tell, like, instantly that Yoly had so much fire in her.
Yeah, and I could see where all the love, like, Yoly can... I think Mal was describing Yoly as a person who, like, loves passionately. Yeah, loves love as well. So that is very Leo-like. I have a moon in Gemini, so that's probably why I relate to Yoly in that type of way. We'll dive deep into that. First thoughts. I don't know. I think that Yoly was very straightforward. I think maybe because she has so many planets in Leo that I knew that whatever you got from her, from them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sorry, I thought you said Mal, so that's why I said them. But yeah, Yoly I think is she, her.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Mal, so that's why I was confused.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah. Sorry.
Talking about Yoly.
Yeah.
I think Yoly's pronouns are she, her.
When
I was looking it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think whatever we got of her. I think she was super real and honest. And I don't know. What did you think?
I got just a couple things when I first met Yoly, and I know that Yoly is the ultimatum giver, and they wanted to be married, and I feel like they were very serious about it. And I think, yeah, you were mentioning that Mal mentioned that Yoly falls in love fast. And usually I would put Aries, but I actually put Gemini. So I did get her Gemini moon, or her Gemini at least. And I don't know. Of course I love Yoly because I knew immediately that they had Aries for sure. The way that they dress, the way that they like walk, the way that, like everything. I was like, oh, I know an Aries when I see one.
And is there something with like polyamory? Because I mean, I was very interested in polyamory, and she even said, like, I mean, this is like not an advertisement. She said it in the reunion that she's not an advertisement for polyamory, but like she does, like, you know, she loved multiple people at the same time. And I was able to love multiple people at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that a Gemini moon thing? I don't know. But yeah, go on. Keep going about Yoly.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously when I found out that Yoly had a Gemini moon, I thought of you immediately. And I didn't think it was a, I mean, they did mention it was a polyamory like thing, but I don't know. I just feel like that's a very queer thing, is to be very open and dating kind of in a fun way. If that makes any sense. Like, I didn't think it was like any of her signs. I kind of felt like she just really loved attention. But we can dive deep into like her other signs. I feel like that would align. But that's what I got first when I met Yoly. I really love her Aries rising. And of course she's a Leo, so I'm just like, obviously I love her.
Yeah, when you mentioned that she loves attention, that's definitely the Mercury, I mean the Leo, I mean everything in Leo.
Exactly.
When someone has like everything in Leo, especially Mercury, because that's thoughts and communication, it's centered around being adored. Like Yoly wants to be adored. Anyone who has a Mercury in Leo wants to be adored.
Yeah, and I feel like they require ample attention. Like, yeah, like you said, they want to be adored, admired and adored. Like they don't want to, they like need to be.
Yes, that's like how someone who has I mean, anyone who has a Leo stellium is so we'll just say that Yoly has a Leo stellium because uh they have 4 planets in Leo, and so when someone has that many planets in one sign, it's just like there's so much, like they place that as very important in their life. So heavily on romance as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's move on to Mal's chart just quickly. Mal's a Virgo Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Scorpio rising. Also has a Venus Cancer, Mars Leo, which is the same as Yoly. And I think I mentioned all of their planets.
Mal has also a Mercury in Leo as well.
Okay, sorry. Oh wow.
So
Yes.
Yoly and Mal both share a Mars in Leo and a Mercury in Leo, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Mal is my favorite person in the whole wide world.
I would agree.
Virgo is perfection and Mal is perfection. So
I love Mal's chart very much.
yeah, I mean, a moon in Capricorn surprises me. Like all of these planets kind of surprise me in my attraction towards Mal and like I really liked their personality and how they handled every single situation. Like I was like, is this person real? I don't know. It's like, but yeah, Virgo, I put perfection, Mal equals perfection. So I did put that like a Capricorn moon in general it's hard for them to um outwardly express themselves. So I could see why sometimes when Yoly was, explaining their affection towards both Xander and Mal, like it seemed like Mal was kind of just processing it because me as a Capricorn sun, I think like when someone gives me bad information or good information, I don't usually react right away. Because I don't have the emotions are just either all over the place, or like I don't know how to process them, or it's just like I'm just listening to you because I can't react right now. So I think that's why for Mal, during the whole experiment, Mal just seemed very calm. I think that was like had to do with the Capricorn moon. And then the other thing I wrote down was the Mercury and Leo. Let's see. So Mal has a really I saw that Mal is like a stylist in the career. So I think that Mercury
it was Yoly.
Oh, was it Yoly?
It was Yoly, and Mal went into a department and asked Yoly for advice, and Yoly helped Mal, and Mal joked around saying, "Hey, can I have your Instagram so that I can get discounts?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, did Mal slide into Yoly's DMs?
I mean, she went to the store and asked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mixed them up, but so they both have Mars, Leo. So it just like that need for adoration also there in Mal's chart. And I can see that like because Yoly issued the ultimatum and because Mal wasn't ready, because like they thought that maybe they wanted to know that they were Yoly's number one, or like true, like number one true love. And so I think that's the reason why like Mal was not sure yet, like at that moment, even though they did want to get married, like, but not at that time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember that Mal was mentioning that, but also the fact that they wanted to be able to provide, which is very Virgo or Earth for me, and they wanted to be that person for Yoly, but they weren't there yet, and that's why they didn't want to rush into a wedding. But yes, they said that Yoly falls in love really fast, so I feel they were trying to make sure, I feel like, just like be sure about it. And I want to say it's kind of like maybe the Venus in Cancer. I feel like they just need to be very like sure, but also Virgo too. I mean, I feel like it could be like all of it, but Yoly might have been moving a little bit too fast. A little too fast.
Yeah, too fast for Mal at that point.
Yeah.
So another thing is too, like when this season was different for me, this season was different for me from like the last series that we did, because I right away looked up the charts for Love is Blind, and so I knew everything while watching it.
Oh, okay. I like surprising myself.
Yeah.
I like surprising myself and guessing.
Yeah, this time around I didn't at all. I wanted to watch this one was so interesting. I could have watched it all in one day. But I didn't.
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely comment down below what was your favorite part about watching the show.
Yeah. But I remember texting you and saying like Yoly already told everyone like the first episode that Mal's a Virgo. So I already knew that Mal was a Virgo the entire season. I just didn't know
that was really funny.
Yoly was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think it was Mal and like two other people that I knew because they mentioned it in the in the show already.
Yeah, it was like the not very first episode, but it was like the episode. No, actually, it was when they all met each other, like speed dating. It was like when they were speed
they're,
dating.
asking each other if the zodiac signs, like one of the questions.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked a little bit about Yoly and Mal. Did you want to talk more about each of their sign, or did you want to talk about their trial weddings?
Let's see. So we started talking, I think we talked about how they met, who issued the ultimatum, why why Mal didn't want to get married yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote down one of the reasons was because Mal needed like a down payment for a home, needed money for like in vitro, like was like thinking about the details of the marriage, which was very, very Virgo.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't do much like research on the big three. I was more interested in like their compatibility. So I wasn't really thinking much about their big three when I was like.
No, that's fine. I can say what I have notes on.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple notes on Yoly's Big Five. There's like a little bit, but I did take notes on the Gemini moon for Yoly and also Victoria's a Gemini moon. So I said that they are emotionally communicative and they need a partner who is decisive. And I say this, I swear, like every time, not every time, but every time we mention a Gemini moon, because Victoria mentions how they need a partner who is very confident in wanting to be with them. Am I right?
Yeah.
They're just sure. And then Gemini moons also would prefer a partner to keep up with them mentally and conversationally. It kind of helps them feel like healthy and fulfilled.
Yes.
And a Gemini, they rule Mercury, Virgo, and Gemini. So I feel it kind of worked out between, Mal and Yoly for that. But should I talk about, Yoly also dated someone else for the trial wedding, and that was Xander. And Xander's a Gemini, so I felt like that was also a huge spark in the communicative, like, spark part of it.
Yes.
And Yoly also has a Leo Venus, and they prefer partners who speak highly of them. I think I talked about that. It kind of makes them feel accepted and special. And they also need to have fun. With the thing about being a fire sign, we tend to get bored really fast. So I feel that was also wanting to be like polyamory. Like I feel like that was also it. But I feel like Gemini, I always heard that if you have any Gemini placements, like you're literally, you can't, like there's so many things that you like are attracted to. I have a Gemini Mars, and like I always joke about flirting is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. I love to flirt too, even if I'm not like actually interested.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because then later you're like, I'm sorry. They're like, can I have your number? I'm like, I'm sorry, you're fun, but that wasn't meant to be a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also Leo Venuses obviously like to be admired and adored. And their Yoly's Mars, which is also Leo, I already mentioned that they require a lot of attention, but they can get pretty easily aroused. So I feel like that's also how like Yoly can fall in love really easily because it's something new and exciting. And they also like partners who are popular and receive a lot of attention. So Mal's rising as a Scorpio, and I feel people get so intrigued with Scorpio risings. So I feel like Yoly was like, oh, I'm reeling this person in. Like, this one's gonna come home with me. But yeah, I feel like they are also like Leo Mercury are people who are very persuasive, and we kind of see that when Yoly is talking to Mal and Xander when it came to like knowing if, you know, I don't know, I just felt like the way she talked, I was very like drawn into it. What do you think, Victoria?
You're talking about Yoly
or
Mal?
Yoly.
Oh, Yoly, yeah.
I mean, they both have Mercury. They both have Mercury in Leo too. Mercury and Mars. Sorry. So yeah, I would say that's also for Mal too. Which I was drawn to Mal's persuasiveness, like from the time I met them, from the very end of the show.
Yeah, for both, I think they're very, I would say, persuasive.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, I believed everything that they were both saying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I didn't think at all both of them were not like I don't think they were being ingenuine at all. I felt like they were being very true to themselves. I feel like it's not very, well, depends on what kind of Aries, but I feel like Aries don't really like being fake. At least I'm talking about myself. Like, we can spot fakeness from a mile away because we like people to like us, so we kind of learn to be fake when we grow up, but then we realize that why be fake when we could just be ourselves, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just like, I don't know, Mal's Scorpio rising just like drawed me in. Like, I was like hypnotized.
Yeah, I mean, like, Yoly got two of the best people.
Oh my god, yeah.
Sanders,
absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why I'm ranking them, but like.
Yeah. Okay, and so that's what, I guess, my little notes of Yoly, and if you guys shared any planets with Yoly as well, maybe it could relate to you as well. And if it did, definitely comment down below. It'd be really fun to see everyone else relating. And then Mal, I only have a couple things, but supposedly for, I think it was for a Capricorn moon, they do well with water signs. Yeah, that would make sense, who help saturate their rigidness. So when they do have someone who has water in them, it helps them kind of to relax. And Capricorn moon, I feel like they fear emotion. So I feel being with a water sign, they can obviously help with that, like, hugely. So I feel being with Yoly maybe kind of maybe threw more fuel to the fire. So, but it's just hard because, again, we only see like 10% of what is shown probably in real life. So I felt like Mal was very chill and relaxed, but with Yoly, probably not. Like, I could definitely see them kind of sparking, you know, the intensity at times. Because with the Scorpio rising and the Aries rising, like, they're competitive, and they also like to be the person who's not really in charge, but I would say they're louder. Like, one has to be lower than the other. But with an Aries and a Scorpio, that won't work. You know, it'd be really hard. Like, they like to share the stage, if that makes any sense, or they can't. So, and with their and so also with Mal Scorpio rising, they have powerful intuition, and and now to bring up Vanessa, who is Xander's partner. I thought they were actually gonna hit it off. Like, I thought they were gonna talk because Vanessa was like drawn to Mal, and because of Mal Scorpio rising with their powerful intuition, they saw right through Vanessa, I feel, and that's why they didn't continue with Vanessa. And for the Venus in Cancer, they need a partner who expresses their feelings, and I feel like it could be difficult with the Gemini moon. And it could possibly be difficult with the Leo as well, with all the Leo that Yoly has. But, I mean, Scorpio risings can handle a lot of intense situations, so I feel that's kind of how I feel like they got along with Yoly. So, and also how they were so calm in every situation that we saw them in. was definitely their Scorpio rising. That's all I have for both of them that I took notes.
That's
so
good.
I was really intrigued. I really wanted to like dive deep into more of it just so that I understand it as well when I'm talking about it.
Yeah. So do you think,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to talk about how, if you think they're compatible?
I mean, I didn't look at their houses, but
I did look at their houses.
You did? Okay, I want to hear what you have to think first.
Okay, so I also wrote down their aspects too, because we have pretty much their whole entire birth chart.
Yeah, we do. For them at least.
Yeah, so we could talk about the aspects, which
I don't know
means
any about the aspects, but please intrigue all of us.
So if you overlay in synastry, if you overlay one birth chart on top of another birth chart, hopefully everyone knows what a birth chart is. It's just like a picture of the sky of the planets when you were born, a picture of it, like a snapshot, right? When you were born. That's why everyone needs your birth time, because the planets move fast. So if you in synastry, we overlay the birth charts, and then for aspects, you kind of look at your personal placements, which are the planets, and you look at it compared to your partners. And so for like Mal and Yoly, Mal has their Mars conjunct to Yoly's Sun, Mercury, and Venus, which means that it's very, very close. Conjunct means very close. Just to, it pretty much means, because Mars is drive, or it means the drive or action, and it's aspected to several of Yoly's placements. It kind of makes her feel safe and like more like secure with Mal. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it makes Yoly safe and secure with Mal.
Yeah, which she also wanted to be with Xander. I remember that was like a huge thing. Like they felt safe with Xander.
Yeah, but I kind of want to go more into the houses, because that's what I'm more interested in.
I love the houses, but I don't know. I didn't get any of their houses. So I can kind of bounce off of it if you want to go ahead and talk about it, because we definitely have not dived deep into the houses, and that'd be really fun.
Yeah, so like Mal's Sun, Mercury, and Mars is in Yoly's 5th house, and the 5th house is the dating, the romance. You know,
I love that.
So that's like a lot. That's a lot. So I can see why Mal really loves Yoly.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of romance and attraction. They really did. So it makes so much sense why Mal picks Yoly, even though Yoly doesn't, like even though Yoly loves Mal, but loves multiple people. But that makes sense why Mal's so attracted to Yoly, because of the romance that was there. They've been together for 3 years. And so yeah, I mean, the sun is a huge one. If you're ever looking at synastry, look at where your sun is in your partner's house, or where their sun is in whichever house on your birth chart.
I love that. I feel like I need to look it up now.
So like romance comes very naturally, especially when Mars is in the 5th house, in their 5th house. And just an actual, there's fun and romance there. I mean, all the good things. The other thing is Mal's Venus is in Yoly's 4th house, and the 4th house is security, comfort, home, family. So I mean, this all like really makes sense, like why Mal just chooses Yoly right away. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I was at first I wasn't sure because of Mal's trial marriage. I felt like they very much felt Lexi, and I felt Lexi really much felt Mal, but the more I looked back at it, I felt they were more friends, like kind of like soulmates, but not really maybe meant to be. And I felt Mal was very respectful in showing love for Lexi, but also knowing for a fact that they were always going to choose Yoly, which I want to cry because it's so cute.
I want someone to be sure about me.
I know. Isn't that so? I'm just like obsessed. I'm like I love Mal. I mean, we both love Mal, and whoever gets to be with Mal for the rest of their life, fuck, just kidding.
Oh my god. Okay, so I did want to mention one thing because
Yeah.
the seventh house, which is marriage, I wanted to look at the seventh house.
Ooh, yeah.
So Saturn and Pluto is in Mal's Saturn and Pluto is in Yoly's seventh house. So Saturn is a planet of restriction. Pluto is a planet of like death and reborn, transformation, evolve. Like Pluto is like you gotta like go through the hard things to like come out a whole new person, basically. So this all is in Yoly's seventh house, which is the marriage. And so I think it pretty much gives like a very serious, restrictive tone in their relationship. So there could be, which is kind of the reason why they had so much like going straight to the reunion, like they didn't end up together. Because I think because of this. It could be because of this. And it could work out because Pluto is there. But it's almost like they have to go through this huge breakup for them to come out, in this great marriage, but there's still going to be that restriction there. But Saturn also doesn't just mean restriction, it also means like long-term like commitment. So like if they did end up together in the future, it would take a hell of a lot of work.
And Yoly would have to drop being wanting to be married right away.
Right. And then so if we look at Yoly's planets in Mal's birth chart in the houses, so she has a lot of, she has Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Mal's ninth house. And the ninth house is adventure.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, that's a lot of planets.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yoly has a Leo stellium.
That's true. Yeah, Yoly she's like lives and breathes being a Leo.
Yeah.
But isn't most of her planets in like the fifth house?
Yoly?
Yeah.
Is it? Let me see. I think it is.
I'm dead. They're like a full ass Leo.
That's crazy. No, that can't be.
What do you mean? I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Wow. That's insane.
That is pretty insane. What a Leo.
What a Leo.
Wow.
I'm here for it. I fucking love it.
What was I gonna say? So the ninth house is about adventure, but it's not typically romantic. It's not as romantic as the fifth house, which is all of Mal's planets are in Yoly's fifth house. But there's like this, adventure spirit, intellectual quality about their relationship. Like they can have like these high level relationship. But I would say not romance back to Yoly. Sorry.
You're fine.
Does that make sense?
Wait.
No. Yoly, not romance back to Mal, sorry. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also looked at if there's any planets of Yoly's in Mal's chart in the seventh house. And so let's see, Yoly has the moon in Mal's seventh house. So which pretty much makes you feel, attractive to your partner, feel more comfortable, not awkward. And it makes sense because she always talks about Mal being like family and kin, so Yoly feels very comfortable with Mal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I feel like
There wasn't much though.
okay. Yeah,
But I mean that's a lot.
Yeah. From just a like astrology science standpoint, without like the aspects or the houses, I definitely feel that I I could see why, you know, Yoly and Mal were together, but I felt that there was really no like emotion enough for Mal. I felt like Mal needed more emotion, and I felt Yoly didn't seem like they gave it to Mal or like reassured Mal, which makes sense because Mal did mention that they want to make sure that Yoly really, really liked them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thought. I mean, obviously they didn't end up together. I like you said, I feel like if they did, it would have to be a shit ton of work. Like Yoly would definitely have to drop a lot of her Leo Leoness.
You know what? I just realized she did say she wanted children right away.
Yoly?
Yoly, right?
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
And that is very Leo, right? They always want children.
That I did not know that actually.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that, guys. That's actually a first thing. I did. Is that like a nurturing thing? Like, maybe.
The fifth house. I remember this because the fifth house is about children.
Okay.
And
I
have my son in the fifth house as well.
Okay.
So I actually, for me, I don't want children, but it's different when you're a Leo. I think when you have, so I love children, and I think I love them so much I don't want my own.
Okay.
Because of the Capricorn part of me is the responsibility, and the Virgo part of me is my anxieties towards having children, even though I love them so freaking much. I don't know if I can have my own. But yeah, so Leos, even people in my life who I know that are Leos, they want children like right away, like even from like the beginning of, I don't know, time.
That's so interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that, but now that I think of like all my Leo friends, they definitely have babies.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was just like something I just remembered.
Well, that's something I just learned. So if that is something you guys just learned too, definitely comment down below. I mean, yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to be a different approach. I really like the fact that I kind of just touched on the astrology sign part, where you went more in depth with the aspects and the synastry and the houses. Yeah, I really think that's gonna be fun for all of us to learn together. And I felt like you were really excited because I felt like the talk was very passionate.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to learn more, and because we have their actual like
yes
times.
We did bring that up a lot. We're like, oh, we didn't have their house.
Yeah, for Love Is
That's
Blind,
true. Yeah, that is so true.
So I'm like, oh, we could talk about houses now.
Yeah. I do like the fact that we're doing this instead, just because spoiler alert, no one chooses their trial marriage. Maybe we might end up, you know, talking about an episode for their trial marriage, like just literally like all of them, because I feel like there's not much to talk about. We could just talk about why they didn't get along, but we kind of talked about, you know, Xander. We talked about Mal with, you know, Lexi. So I feel eventually we'll figure out how we want to talk about the trial marriages, but I think
they did mention like a Virgo Capricorn power couple thing, and I did when I was researching for myself.
What do you mean?
in the ultimatum, when they were talking about when Mal was dating Lexi, and how they even said it in their date, like Virgo and Capricorn are power couple. If you go back to the episode, and I looked for myself when I was dating a Virgo, like a couple, or I don't even know, if like 5 months ago. I was like, I was looking at Virgo Capricorn synastry, and I did see power couple as one of them. And
interesting.
I was like,
I love that. Wait, what is the other power couple that you said for the Earth sign? It was just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Virgo and Capricorn are the power couple for Earth signs.
I love that.
Yeah, it kind of just reminds me of like a Beyonce, Jay-Z. I don't know what Jay-Z is.
He's Sag.
Oh, okay. But like, just I don't know why they say it, but I think it's because of the hard work of the Virgo, and then like the ambition of a Capricorn is why they say they're a power couple. Like, they'll push each other. I mean, obviously we couldn't really see it in the show with them too, because they weren't actually in a real relationship and they weren't like working. So but I can see how they, were talking about just the facts of life, and how, I can't wait to talk about Lexi too. We'll talk about
I actually really like Lexi. Oh yeah, and then so when I was doing my research, someone was mentioning for Leo, which is pretty much Yoly, that they were saying J-Lo, the popular singer.
Yeah.
They're Leo, and they were saying, do you know why J-Lo didn't let Virgos be their background dancer?
What?
Yeah, and I was like, wait, why? And I think it's because they're so like, they're not like fun. Like, they're always trying to think of like perfection, and I feel like Leos are very much like, they're just creative. They just want people to see how creative they are. Like, they're not perfectionists like, Beyonce is. But I thought that was really funny. I know it's super random, but I thought that was really funny. I was like, wait, J-Lo legitimately, guys, does not pick, like, if they know that the dancer is a Virgo, they don't have them as a background dancer.
What the heck?
Isn't that interesting? I was like, okay, I was like, first of all, where did you get that information? Because that isn't, like, that is some shit, like, you'd have to dig deep for that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, tell me your birthday. I would just lie on my application.
I would too, absolutely. You already know that if someone asks, come on, guys. If you already know, if people ask you when your birthday is, or what time you're born, or where you were born, they're looking for your freaking chart. They're trying to see if it aligns with yours, or if it like would make sense.
This just reminds me, because we're talking about Beyonce. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think they were talking about, I think it was Mildred that was talking about Beyonce in one of the episodes. Like, if Beyonce would be good in bed. And she was talking about, okay, Beyonce's a Virgo, right?
Yes. And I believe has a Leo rising.
Wait, Virgo Sun and Leo rising?
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mildred was like, Beyonce would be good in bed, but then it would be more like 1 and 2 and 3 and
yes.
I was dying because I'm such a Virgo.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Beyonce is a perfectionist, but that's why she's so fucking good. Same with what's her name? Zendaya. Yeah. She's also a Virgo, so like it just makes sense. But like that can be like that can't be fun for a lot of people. You're a fun ruiner.
I know.
My moon sign says that to my sun sign all the time. You ruin the fun all the time. And it's so true. It's so true.
It is very true for me too.
But I feel like what couple would you like to do next? Do you want to do Lexi and Ray?
Sure.
All right.
Oh wait, should we talk about Xander and Vanessa next? Since
that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
A bit more, and maybe we could talk about Xander and Yoly right now, because Yoly almost picked Xander.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So
just a little bit, because I was looking at the houses too. And it's so okay. So this is really interesting because remember, wait, well, let me see. What do I have here? Where do I have it? Oh, okay. So yeah. Like I said, I always look at the seventh house because of marriage, especially in these marriage shows. So when you look at Yoly's planets in Xander's chart, the Sun and Mars are in the seventh house. So I mean, that's also why I think Yoly almost picked Xander.
I'm
Too.
sorry, for what reason again?
Because the Sun and Mars is in Xander's seventh house, which is the house of marriage.
Oh. Aww.
I know.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I was so torn.
I was so fucking torn. I was so torn. Because like why would Yoly say yeah, like I do to Mal, knowing that Yoly still loves Xander.
Yeah.
That was so tough. I just felt Xander just being totally broken, and it just hurt my heart so much because I love Mal and I love Xander. Those were my two favorite people on this like show.
Yeah. And like having a sun in your partner's seventh house, like your partner is gonna feel very alive with you because the sun is like the energy, you know, of the relationship. So you'll feel alive with that person. And so
that's so cute.
even like a Mars in a seventh house also is like, it's powerful because Mars is a very powerful planet. As also let's see, a kind of like assertive planet. So I can see why they both like were very like wanting to get married already. So it's like, because that's also the planet that Aries rules. So, and Aries is very like spontaneous and just wants to do it right away and figure it out later, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we'll get married now, figure it out later.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. And then also the other planet I saw that about Yoly's moon is in Xander's fourth house. So that's a nice placement because that's the emotional part and comfortable part, like the homey.
I love
like
that.
The moon really likes being in the fourth house. Like that's the best placement for the moon, actually.
In the fourth house?
Yeah. The moon.
What is the fourth house Cancer?
In my head.
Is Cancer the fourth house? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Cancer's the fourth house.
Okay. So that's why I was questioning it. I wasn't questioning what you were saying. I was questioning because I wasn't sure.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh wait. And I have it like listed here, and sometimes I'll just say it. I'm like, wait, do I need to think about it? No, it's for real.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have some notes about the other way around. So Xander's placements in Yoly's chart. And this is really interesting too because Xander's Sun and Mercury are in Yoly's second house. And that's the house of money.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you know when Yoly was having that talk with Mal's friend?
Oh, friend.
Mal?
Yeah.
Was it Mal's friend?
Maybe,
I don't remember.
But they did bring up how Xander was literally like had it all set with money.
Yeah.
Literally supposedly showed Yoly, or Xander showed Yoly their freaking account.
Yeah, bank account.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I thought that was interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I noted that here. I was like, oh wow, the sun's in the second house.
I love it.
Venus is also in the fourth house. Again, Venus is a planet of love. So actually, I also like Venus in the 4th house too. They'll have like a beautiful life together, sensual, beautiful, kind of easy. It's easy for them, like as opposed to the relationship with Mal. It's gonna take a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah,
I think
Mars. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think, didn't Xander and Yoly try even after the show? I could have sworn that they tried, and yeah, I think Yoly chose herself, which I support.
Yeah,
but I wonder why.
I kind of want to follow I want to follow all of them on Instagram to see what happened.
I know. I'm curious. You just never know.
Because they kind of left it off like, I don't know if it's really over, you know?
Yeah, it didn't. It was just it's just a year. Like, that shit could change immediately.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I love it. I mean, I have nothing really to talk about Xander other than them when we talk about them. But I was rooting for Yoly and Xander. I think their relationship was very beautiful when I was watching it. So,
you know what my favorite part was?
What?
When one of the producers or someone in the background was like, "Do you think Yoly made the right decision?" And Xander was like, "Yes." Even though Yoly didn't even pick Xander.
Yeah. Xander's literally such a, like, I did not see Xander. Okay, maybe we'll wait. We'll just wait till I talk about Xander, because I just easy peasy. I didn't think they were a Gemini at all. I did not get that at all. Like, it is just, I don't know. I mean, I never can pinpoint air signs. Maybe that's probably why, but I just saw so many other signs compared to like a Gemini. So
I definitely saw the Aquarius rising because of if you see the trailer for the Ultimatum, you could tell that Xander is very awkward on the dates.
Yeah. I actually don't know I don't know all their signs, but because I didn't do the research yet, but I will when we talk about them.
We'll talk about Xander and Vanessa next. It's probably gonna be a long ass episode because, oh my gosh,
Vanessa, yes. But anyways, yeah. Hopefully, I'm sorry this was kind of all over the place. I felt like in my head when I'm listening, it sounded fun to follow along.
Or it was just chaotic.
I mean, come on, we got a Gemini moon and an Aries. Like, how, like, it's gonna be chaotic. Like, I felt like if you guys like didn't like us for the very first second, then you're not gonna like the whole episode. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Really excited about this new series. I was a little nervous. I was like, frick, like, I don't know if we're gonna do this again. Like, one, like, we have to watch these shows. Two, we have to do the research. Three, we have to figure out how we want to talk about it. So, like, I was very worried that, you know, we'd have to change it up again. But I'm really glad that, I think it was you, Victoria. No, was it you who said we should do it on the Ultimatum? I think it was you.
No, I thought it was you.
Well, you know, yeah, it was one of us.
Ultimatum. Obviously.
It was one of us, and I'm really happy. It was just like Netflix, and I was like, oh shoot, like, oh yeah, because you said you really liked the Ultimatum, and I never watched it. But of course, because it's Pride Month, like, Netflix is trying to put out more queer shows, and I was like, this is gonna be perfect. Like, I think this would be a really great start to something different that we do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is fun for us. We get to learn more.
Exactly. Like, the whole time I was listening to Victoria, and I was like, this is so fascinating. Like, I wish, like, I'm just learning more, and I hope that, you know, eventually this inspires you guys to also want to learn more about not like your partners, but about yourself and how you want to be loved, or who you should be, like, you know, just, we're about compatibility. So of course it doesn't have to be about love. It could be about your teammates. It could be about people, you know, who you see, I don't know, just random people who you meet. Like, it doesn't have to always be love.
We should talk about our compatibility.
But yeah, that would be great too. I actually never thought of that.
One day.
One day.
Episode.
Yeah, one episode when we need a break from the compatibility. Yeah. I mean, it's still gonna be compatibility, but it's gonna be about us, so. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please, if you guys enjoyed the episode, like, subscribe, comment down below on Spotify, and I think on Apple Podcasts, you guys can give us a review. And now we're on YouTube, which I'm really excited about as well. And I will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.